Does this look familiar? Your city's growing, people are moving in, but your bank account is tanking fast? Well, don't panic. Today I'm going to show you how to stop bleeding cash in the early game of Cities Skylines 2 and turn your city into a money-making machine. These strategies will keep your city alive and thriving without going bankrupt in the first 15 minutes. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to master that budget and make bank from the start. Let's go. First tip, keep it simple. You don't need to build everything at once. The temptation is real, I know, but trust me, don't go laying down an entire 6-lane highway system for a population of 200. Focus on building just enough infrastructure to meet your citizens' basic needs. A small road grid, a power plant, some pipes, and boom, you're off to a solid start without going broke. Remember, City Skylines 2 doesn't really reward the overbuilders. If you overspend, you'll end up broke faster than you can say zone this channel to higher density by liking and subscribing. Now, let's talk taxes. Now, don't go overboard and jack them up to 20% unless you want a full-blown citizens revolt. But you can nudge the tax rate a little higher without too many complaints. Try setting residential taxes to 11 or 12%. People are generally cool with that. For industrial and commercial, you can go a bit higher, around 12 to 14%. Just make sure you're not scaring off businesses before they even open shop. Next up, zoning. Think of it like a good sandwich. Too much bread, not enough meat, it's all dry. Too much residential, not enough commercial, and suddenly your people have nowhere to shop. Keep a balance and zone smart. If you want more details on how to master zoning like a pro, be sure to check out my other video on zoning strategies. It's loaded with tips to help you build smarter, not harder. The card just popped up at the top. But back to the basics. Start with a solid chunk of residential near your roads, some commercial zones nearby to give them places to shop, and an industrial zone a bit further out to keep that pollution away from your lovely citizens. Remember, pollution kills property values, makes citizens sick, and prevents residential buildings from upgrading. And guess what that kills? Yep, your income potential from residential zoning. Here's a pro tip. Don't sleep on specialized industries. These babies can turn your generic industrial zones into cash cows. Whether it's forestry, farming, or mining, specialized industries can generate higher profit margins for your industries because they're not just supplying your city, they're exporting goods. And more exports means more money flowing into your city's budget. Just make sure to use your city's natural resources wisely. If you've got a forest or fertile land nearby, zone a specialized industry there early on, and you'll see your bank account soar as industries become more efficient and profitable. Be sure not to zone or place other buildings over those natural resources. If you've ever had success with specialized industries in your city, please share. I'd love to hear about it. Which one is your go-to? Forestry, farming, or maybe mining? Let us know in the comments below. Now, just because you've built services doesn't mean they need to run at full capacity. For things like power plants or water treatment, you can drop their budgets as needed. This reduces costs without affecting your services too much. Once your city grows, you can crank those budgets back up. Another thing, don't overbuild services early on. You only need an elementary school and a high school and a small clinic at first. A huge hospital is a money pit if you don't have the population to support it. Now, in City Skylines 2, it's not just about growing your population to hit milestones like in the old days. Instead, the game rewards you with experience points based on the quality of your city's development. This is key to unlocking all those important milestones. Every time you build new roads, expand services, or improve infrastructure, you're earning experience points to move you closer to unlocking new features. The more you enhance your city's infrastructure, the more experience points you rack up, and the quicker you unlock those crucial milestones. You'll get that sweet cash injection, new buildings and services without having to cram in more people. And if you're really struggling, don't be afraid to take out a loan. I know, it feels like selling your soul. But in the early game, loans can actually save you from bankruptcy. Just make sure you spend it wisely. Use loans to invest in things that'll bring in more revenue, like additional zoning and infrastructure to increase your tax base. Pay attention to the interest rates on the loan because that has an impact on your monthly repayment. The early game is all about balance. Keeping your city small but functional, adjusting taxes, and cutting unnecessary costs while pushing for milestones with the experience points. It's like juggling on a tightrope, but with a bit of practice, you'll be rolling in that sweet, sweet cash. If you like this video, don't forget to zone this channel to higher density by liking and subscribing if you haven't already. And hey, I've got some more tips on advanced city building strategies in City Skylines 2. Check out the next video here. Happy city building and thanks for watching.